Hey everybody, and welcome along to my first battle report. This was done yesterday at Storm over Stirling, which I think is almost exactly a year on from when I managed to put out my last battle report. I'm sorry it's been so long. I hopefully will have these 3 games up before the end of the week. So, to all my subscribers, thanks for still being subscribed, and enjoy the next 3 games. Great day. I won't tell you how I got on. You can wait till the end and find that out. But this was my army. Skaven, as you can see. I have my Grey Seer, who's level 4 with Power Scroll and Talisman of Preservation. I have a unit of... Sorry, I have a level 1 Warlock Engineer, who is denoted by the Plague Priest in the corner of the slave unit there. I have my BSB, and I also have another Warlock Engineer with the Doom Rocket. My BSB has the Storm Banner. I have 2 units of 40 slaves, just bog standard. 2 units of Giant Rats, 1 unit of 40 Storm Vermin, and then I have 2 units of Gutter Runners, a unit of 5 bog standard Rat Ogres, 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, my Hellpit Abomination, and my favourite unit of the Skaven army, the Jezzails. I only have 12 of them. I wanted to get in 13, but points and things, I wanted more Rat Ogres as well. Couldn't do that, so I went for 12 instead of 13. Anyway, this is how things looked after deployment. My first opponent was Mike Ross, who, if some of you remember, I have battle reports with before. 2 of them, I think. One when I was running at Fall of the Old World with Malekith, and another one from another tournament, which I can't remember quite which one. And I think he beat me in both. Can't remember. Yeah, he beat me in both. So I'm up for revenge here, but this is actually my first ever game with Skaven, so we'll see how it goes. The scenario was Dawn Attack, so with him being Undead Legions and myself being Skaven, with the chance for your leadership bubble to be on the opposite side of the board for most of your army. It's quite a daunting prospect. So into deployment, on Mike's right flank he has 3 Morghast Harbingers. He has a Screaming Skull Catapult, the Black Coach, and a unit of 5 Direwolves. In his centre he has a lovely converted Giant, which he's using as a Hyro Titan. I love how ethereal it looks. Behind that, which you can't really see, there is a Casket of Souls. There is his General's Bunker unit. There's a Necromancer in there, BSB, another Necromancer, and some Skeletons. And then there's a unit of Zombies. Over here he has a unit of 8 Crypt Horrors, a unit of Zombies, a unit of 30 archers, skeleton archers, which always hit on 5s, which I hate, and another unit of 5 direwolves. On my right flank I have a unit of gutter runners, my Hellpit Abomination, my unit of slaves with the level 1 Warlock Engineer. In the centre I have my 2 Warp Lightning Cannons and my Jezzails, another unit of 40 Clan Rats with my Doom Rocket Warlock Engineer, a unit of Giant Rats, a unit of Clan Rats as a bunker with my Grey Seer and my BSB, a unit of Gutter Runners again, and on this side I have my 40 Storm Vermin, my 5 Rat Ogres, and my last Rat Dart. So I rolled to steal initiative, I failed, and Mike went first. First thing he did, he charged the dogs into my gutter runners. I stand and shoot, and turns out I wasn't, so I only killed one of them on the charge with my stand and shoot. So into fighting, and we'll see how that goes. His Black Coach moves up a bit, and his Morghast Harbingers move up a little bit. He's been a little wary of the Rat Ogres. Wasn't sure if that was the smartest thing to do, because Rat Ogres are bog standard, don't have any saves. But I do have a higher initiative than him, so I think that was what he was worried about. Or the same initiative actually. Yeah, both initiative 4. So I think he was worried about losing them to the full unit of Rat Ogres, and he was wanting to kill them a little. There was only a little other movement. His zombies moved a little, his crypt horrors moved a little. I will admit just now that I missed quite a few pictures in this. I need to get back into the swing of things, but I'll talk through what's missed as we go along. I don't want you to miss too much. Into the magic phase, he has 9 dice against my 6. He summons a Spirit Host, which I let through. He then summons a Cairn Wraith, which I forgot to get a picture of. But that's sitting just at the opposite side of the hill of the Spirit Host there. We then go into his shooting phase. His archers kill off 5 of my gutter runners. Forget that skirmishing and long range don't make a difference to undead archers, and they hit on a 5 anyway. Annoying, but it is what it is. He then fires his stone thrower, which misfires, and if you can see at the top there, that's a 1. So first points go to me. I get first points from the stone thrower, his turn 1, and I can't say I'm disappointed with that because he was aiming at my Jezils. Into combat, my rats kill off 2 more direwolves, and the direwolves kill off 1 of my rats. Quite happy with that. So drawn combat, and you can see the picture of the top there, the Cairn Wraiths now standing there. You get into my turn 1, and I scurry away like the cowardly rat I am. I shuffle everything backwards, move my Storm Vermin back. I'm wanting him to come forward. I want to counter charge. I don't want to get charged. Not much other movement from me. At the other side, the Hell Pit Abomination moves up, and my slaves move up a little. My plan in my next turn, obviously, is to fire the Hell Pit Abomination down at the dogs, the zombies, and the archers. And we'll hopefully that's going to take care of that wing, because Hell Pit Abominations are scary. I like them. And that's just a better picture of the movement. My magic phase is pretty much shot down. We go into my shooting phase, and my Jezils kill off a Crypt Horror and wound another. My cannons do nothing of consequence. I think 1 kills about 15 skeletons in his bunker unit. But let's be honest, we all know they'll be back. I was aiming at his Casket of Souls. We go into my opponent's turn 2, and my opponent charges his Cairn Wraith at the Gutter Runners, who fail their terror test and run, which I don't really blame them for. They wouldn't have been able to hurt it anyway. The Morghast Harbingers move up again. I think they come within 17 of my Rat Ogres just to pull them out in the frenzy. And the Black Coach lines itself up to... Actually, the Black Coach tried to charge my slave unit, but it failed. That's what happened. So that's in a nice position there. It's sitting about 13 inches away from my Storm Vermin, of course, which it's 13 inches. 13 being the number of the Great Horned Rat. I assume I can charge that. I will make the charge because the Great Horned Rat will be with me. And then I'll be able to overrun and beat the Cairn Wraith through combat res, and I'll be ready to get into his back line there with his Hydro Titan and his General, and basically get rid of those with my big unit Storm Vermin. So that's the plan at this point. Let's see how that goes. Over on this flank, he tries to chaff up my Hell Pit Abomination, but I'm going that way anyway. His zombies move up a little bit more. His Crypt Horrors start coming across towards the centre. In his magic phase, he gets off the Casket of Souls. The leadership test on 3d6 for me. I roll an 8, and I managed to only take 1 wound on my warp lightning cannon, which I was very pleased about. He also gets off Invocation of Nahek, grows back some of his bunker skeleton unit, and gets a few more zombies. Wasn't really bothered. In his shooting phase, he kills off the last 2 gutter runners. Fair enough. Waste of 126 points for this game, but never mind. That was the end of that. We go into my turn, and my ogres fail their frenzy test and fail the charge into the Morghast Harbingers. So that's an easy charge for the Harbingers next turn. I then try to charge the Storm Vermin at the Black Coach, needing a 13 and failing miserably. So it turns out the Great Horned Rat wasn't quite on my side yet. I had to sacrifice something or someone first. I was quite annoyed because now I have to figure out what's going where, and I was really hoping to get that charge because it would have got me into his back lines almost immediately and would certainly have helped. Into my magic phase, and once again it's inconsequential. I think I may get off a scorch somewhere, but I don't do a wound. We then go into shooting phase, and the cannon works, goes straight through the Black Coach, and that's 1 less worry for me and a few more points. I think there's a couple 100 points in that, so that was definitely a bonus. On this side, as you can see, I forgot to get a picture of the combat, but the Hellpit Abomination had charged into the dogs, killed them all off, and overran through. And I am sitting on the ready to get through to the archers, which is where I want to be. I know they're only archers, but they're worth some points. Go into my opponent's turn, and he charges the Jezzails with the Spirit Host. I stand and shoot. I do 1 wound, and he doesn't make it. So, still quite happy with that. I think I actually missed most of this turn, but nothing else happened here, I don't believe. I'm a bit lost here. I can't quite figure out. I think. Sorry, this is from last turn. These had just moved forward. This wasn't a charge. He'd moved forward, and I had fired at them, and I think his intention was to run it at my Skaven Jezzails. But then with the stand and shoot reaction, he decided against it. We went to his next turn, and he charged the Cairn Wraith and the Spirit Host into my big unit of slaves. So they're going to be held up. Also have my Doom Rocket Engineer in there, so he's probably dead. His Morghast Harbingers do make it in against my Rat Ogres, and the fight is on. Over here we can see his Crypt Horrors moving forward. His zombies move up a little. Shooting, I believe, is non-existent. In fact, he shoots a couple of times at my Hellpit Abomination, which is just out of the shot there on the right. And magic is uneventful again, nothing happens. We go into combat, and his Cairn Wraith and Spirit Host do 4 wounds to my Skaven slaves, and he only manages to put 1 wound through on my Warplock Engineer, so not doing too bad with that. He survives a turn longer than I expected him to. I think this actually ends up a drawn combat as well. He has a charge, a flank, 4 kills. I have a banner, 3 ranks. In fact, I lose this by 1, but I wasn't going anywhere. And this combat, the Rat Ogres do me proud. I take 2 wounds, and I kill 2 Harbingers and wound the 3rd one in return. It was all simultaneous combat, but I was really impressed with my Rat Ogres. 4 attacks each with 3 supporting attacks from the 2 guys at the back. It was a lot of strength 5 attacks, and I was thoroughly enjoying that. It's good to see good old-fashioned Rat Ogres getting in there, since their bigger brothers, the Storm Fiends, replace them in most armies these days. We go into my turn, and my Gutter Runners run forward, hoping to maybe pop a few shots off at the Hydro Titan, a couple poisoned hits. Maybe even if I'm lucky, get round and into that Casket of Souls. My Storm Vermin march up behind them. Obviously, I still want to get into those back lines. That's where all the points are. On this flank, the Hell Pit Abomination reaches the archers, and Slaves unit moves across a little, and not much goes on. I try to Warp Lightning the Crypt Horrors, doesn't work, and I didn't try much else. I fire my cannon on the left at the Crypt Horrors, which misfires, so that can't fire this turn or next. My other cannon is ineffective as well. I think I managed to actually kill a zombie. If even, I think it was strength 2 or something, so nothing to worry about. Over here, you can see I just positioned my Rat Dart to get a flank charge on the Cairn Wraith, just looking for combat res there. You can also see he's killed off my Warplock Engineer and my Champion. I lose a couple more wounds. I'm not going anywhere. The combat over here, he finishes off a Rat Ogre, and I kill the last of the Harbingers, which I'm glad they're out the way because I don't like them. Undead with finish at 4, that's just not really what you want. Over this side, into his next turn actually, excuse me, his Crypt Horrors march forward, his zombie unit comes forward. The line of sight marker was just to make sure that I couldn't flank charge those horrors with my slaves and hold them up, which was fine. His Hyro Titan charges into my Gutter Runners, which I didn't expect. Then his General's unit comes round the hill and moves up so that his BSB and General are in range of the Hyro Titan. You can see the combat over here, which I forgot to go last turn, but between my turn and his turn, we have now killed off all but a few zombies and a few skeleton archers in the front. Into his magic phase, he summons the Hex Wraiths right in front of my Storm Vermin. I'm not too worried. I'm feeling I'm going to charge them and try and beat them through, break them or kill them off through combat res. Unfortunately, I didn't put anything magical into my Storm Vermin. I should have maybe put a character in there or something. I don't know. Just a guy with a Warpstone weapon that would have helped. But no matter. Into combats, he kills off some more slaves. I don't really care. His Hyro Titan kills off all my Gutter Runners. Yeah, I'm annoyed about that. And my Hell Pit Abomination finishes off the archers and turns around looking for more food. We go into my turn, and my Rat Ogres march up. My Rat Dart comes up. You can also see at the top left there, he's summoned a unit of 10 archers, I believe. I just let them go, I didn't really care. My Storm Vermin, as you can see, have charged the Hex Wraiths. I keep forgetting their names. But I was hoping to kill them. I didn't realise they were all strength 5, which is a bit of a pain. So that was a pain for me, but it just means I'm going to be stuck there for a little while. My Rat Dart charges the Cairn Wraith. My General's unit moves up and away to try and support the Storm Vermin with the General's leadership and BSB. I've got some extra combat res in the slave thing now, so hopefully I can make the Spirit Wraith or the Cairn Wraith pop. My slaves charge the zombie unit, and my Hell Pit Abomination fails to make the range to get in there when I was rolling for him. Over here, my Giselles take aim at the Crypt Horrors again, kill off a couple. My Warp Lightning Cannon doesn't do anything. So over here, I win the combat, but only by 2, so I didn't make them pop. And here he kills off 5 slaves. I lose this combat, I'm pretty sure, but I stick around. Over here, he kills a slave and puts a wound on my Warplock Engineer, and I kill a few zombies in return. And we go into his turn. He charges his Hyro Titan into the Storm Vermin. I'm beginning to think that I may have made a mistake now, because with the Hex Race holding me up and a Hydro Titan there, which is difficult to wound. I'm probably going to be held up there with my Storm Vermin for quite some time. The Crypt Horrors make the charge into my Jazales. Unfortunately, bye-bye Jazales. I did get a standing shoot, so they've lost 3 now, but he's made quite a few regen saves with those guys. On 5 up, which is impressive, but the only thing from Mike's dice rolling that's actually been impressive today, to be honest. He kills some of them, breaks the rest of them, catches them, or doesn't catch them, but they run off the table, so they live to fight another day at least. Over here, he doesn't do as many wounds this time, so I win the combat res, and I manage to pop the Spirit Host and do a wound to the Cairn Wraith. Was quite happy with that. Up here, he kills a load of Storm Vermin. I don't do much in return. And on this side, he manages to finish off my Warplock Engineer, which is shameful because they're only zombies. I win the combat and pop the... In fact, he wins combat here and pops the entire unit of Skaven Slaves, which kill a couple of zombies as they run away. Really disappointed. Look at that. That's a unit of 35 Skaven Slaves and 6 zombies. 7 zombies make them pop. Oh, so much for the Horned Rat being on my side. They turn around and face the oncoming Hellpit Abomination. Not much hope for them, I don't think. Over here, we managed to make the Cairn Wraith pop. My cannon's back in play and doesn't do anything. Into my turn, you can see the General's unit have moved up to the back of the Storm Vermin just in case those Crypt Horrors come running across through my slaves. The Rat Dart charges the Skeleton Archers just to try and keep them occupied. The Rat Ogres failed the charge, I believe that's what happened. There's a few pictures missing here. My magic phase doesn't do much. He kills a few more Storm Vermin. And we go into his turn. He charges. As he said, he was being a little gamey, but everyone's out to win, so he wheeled him round to just touch the edge of the Warp Lightning Cannon. That way he could overrun into the slaves. He kills the Warp Lightning Cannon, of course, and makes it through. He then summons a Terrorgeist and gets his archers into the Rat Ogres. Then in the shooting, they manage to kill off my handler and 2 of the Rat Ogres. In the combat, I swing back and kill everything but 1 archer. I needed to kill that archer and he survived, meaning I can't charge into that Terrorgeist or into the side of the Hydro Titan. Bit annoyed about that because this last turn has taken a massive swing towards Mike's side and I was doing so well. So in my turn, there wasn't much movement. I didn't have much left to move. My Hellpit Abomination killed off the last few zombies as to be expected. In this fight, I kill off the last Skeleton Archer. I then managed to put the last wound through on the Hydro Titan, just through sheer attrition. I then tried to cast Scorch on his General's unit, and I think I had 7 power dice, so I put 3 into Scorch on his General's unit. He threw all his dice at dispelling it, figuring with 4 dice I wasn't going to make 25 on my Dreaded 13th. But I then use my Power Scroll, halving its value, throw my 4 dice at it and my Warpstone token. I cast it with... I can't even remember if I got Irresistible Force or if I just got it through. But I got it through and I turned his General's unit into nothing but his General, which was good. That was a load of points. That was his BSB, his General's Unit, his source, a Necromancer character. So this swung everything right back to me in the last turn. Just another picture, you can see that I have... Oh, I've not actually killed the Hyro Titan yet. But I have killed off the skeleton that was there. This is the last turn, I believe. His Crypt Horrors charge in and kill off a load of slaves. I actually managed to stick around because I have the extra rank. My Hellpit Abomination doesn't make it to the fight. And the game ends like this. So it was a good game. I thought I was going to win this early on. Mike's dice rolling was atrocious. And I managed to sneak a victory. It's 12-8 to me, which isn't bad for the start of the day. But it's only a 3-game tournament, so you need to sort of win big if you want to win the tournament. But it was a good game. It was nice to play Mike again. It was nice to finally beat him. What was better is it was my first game with the Skaven. I guess I did make a few mistakes, but Dawn Attack meant I couldn't really prevent where my stuff was going. Cannons didn't perform too greatly. In case anyone's asking, the hills were high, so you couldn't shoot over them, hence why I didn't try and shoot at his Casket of Souls. But it was a victory for me. Thoroughly enjoyed that, so 12-8 victory against Mike. I'm happy, he's not, but hey, it's all about me, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for listening if you made it this far. Sorry about missing a few pictures. I've probably done the same with the next two. I've yet to go through the next lot of pictures. But thanks for watching, and to watch this space, I'm going to try and get in quite a lot more games, and I'll try and keep the battle reports coming. Have a great day.